Hey guys, this is John, and I'm sitting here in my kitchen. I was actually just about to sit down and have lunch, and I thought maybe I'll make a video because I know one of the things that people seem to ask the most of people who are going to Korea is, what's the food like, and what have you been eating, that type of stuff. So I thought I'd make a short video here. This is just going to be kind of the bare bones, some of the basic staples. I think maybe at a later date I'll make a video about some of the more elaborate food, but this is just about 4 or 5 really simple things that you will find a lot if you go to Korea, and especially if you stay there for an extended period of time. The first, probably the biggest, most popular, most famous Korean food is undoubtedly kimchi. And for those people who don't know, kimchi is it's a pickled it's a pickled vegetable, usually some type of radish or lettuce, but you really find hundreds of thousands of different styles of kimchi, kind of like in America when you go to a restaurant and they have, who knows how many different options for salads. It's kind of like that with kimchi. There's just infinite possibilities, but the general thing that they all have in common is they are all pickled and usually involve some type of red pepper spice. You can buy it in grocery stores, in supermarkets, and if you're lucky you can also make it at home. And you can see it's just kind of like it says, just this one is cabbage and some other vegetables. You can eat it cold, you can eat it hot, you can fry it, you can eat it in soup. You see it all the time. And any restaurant you go to in Korea, they usually give you kimchi as a side dish before your meal and throughout the meal. Just when you go to the United States, a lot of times at a restaurant they'll give you bread before you eat. It's kind of the same sort of feeling. But anyway, kimchi, it's really good. I love it. It might be kind of an acquired taste to some people because it can be pretty spicy, and it also can be fairly bold and potent with garlic and whatnot. But anyway, kimchi. The second food that I'll talk about is, here we go. This is ramen, and I think in the States, the most common types, from what I remember, are like shrimp, chicken, or beef. And they have those in Korea, of course, but they also have just a whole lot more options. And generally speaking, you can get ramen that's a lot spicier in Korea than in the States, and just a lot different. A lot of times you can find ramen with a thicker sauce, and it's just it's really common over here. This particular kind here, you can see it kind of has a brown broth, and that's because the flavor is well, there's a common food in Korea called jjajangmyeon, which is like a noodle with a black bean paste, and it's really delicious. And so this is kind of like the ramen version of it. That's why it has the kind of black bean type of sauce. But ramen is very common. It's a very common snack food, very common lunch food. You find it in all the 7-Elevens and convenience stores in Korea. Have a fairly big ramen selection. So that's ramen. The third thing I'll talk about. Let's see. This is I don't know if you can see it here, but I'll open it up. There we go. This is what's called Teok-bokki, and it is, again, like the kimchi. It's a red pepper-based spice. It's got these rice cakes here, which is called tok, and it's in a really thick red pepper paste type of broth, and the cake, the rice cake, kind of tastes like if you've ever had dumplings. A lot of times the shell of the dumpling will be a rice-based rice-based cake. So it just kind of tastes like the shell of a dumpling. It's really thick, and you find it on the street a lot. If you like in the States, a lot of times, for example, if you go out and have some drinks or whatever at a bar, afterwards, a lot of times you come home and have a slice of pizza on your way home or something. In Korea, instead of having pizza on the way home, maybe you get Teok-bokki, and it's sold on the street, and people just line up around the street cart and just eat it right there, and it's really good. So those are kind of three of the main things for starters. You have the kimchi, the ramen, and the Teok-bokki here. A common snack food or dessert would be right here, and these are called Choco Pie, chocolate pie. And it's just it kind of tastes like in the States we have moon pies, I guess. Same type of thing. You find them again at all the convenience stores sell these, and they're really good. As kind of a last item, I guess, it's not really a food per se, but something you find a lot in Korea is ginseng. They call it ginseng over here, but you can buy it in all sorts of. It comes in all sorts of things. You can find it in tea. You can find it in, these are like hard candies. These are just kind of like daily pills that you take, like you take a vitamin. You can also find it. Here's like a kind of like just a drink. You just open this and drink it. But it's really common. It's pretty expensive still in Korea. Not quite as expensive as it is in the States. I know in the United States ginseng can get pretty pricey. But you find it here. It's fairly easy to find, and it's really common. So that's it. That's kind of the first introduction to Korean food. Like I said, I'll do something later, maybe with some of the more complex dishes. But in general, I love Korean food, and I know a lot of people who try it love it as well. I think if you have a weak palate, you might want to ease into it, just because it tends to be, like I've said, very spicy, very peppery. There's also a lot of garlic often. Or sesame oil, and so it tends to be very bold, very powerful flavors, but very delicious, and I've enjoyed kind of getting to know Korean food a lot better since I've been here for a couple weeks. So anyway, that's all for now. I'm going to eat lunch, and I'll talk to you later.